Yo, what's up, everybody? This is it. Final episode for The Acolyte. Yeah, this was the most stretched out movie, chopped up into 8 parts I've ever seen.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So now someone just needs to chop it together like Rashomon style.
Yeah. If someone could take all these episodes and sew them together in a better order or a better deal, that'd be fantastic. But I do want to let people know who might be tuning into this. The last couple of episodes that we did got copyright flagged a couple of times. So if you're watching the replays of those, they're gonna be a little choppy and seeming like they're missing a bunch of content because they are.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to look.
Shout out to the humans who have to watch the video after the bot flags it.
Yeah,
for your views.
all the more reason to watch us live.
But if you message me, I can get you. I can host unedited versions, just not publicly. So if you want to watch them, let me know.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
40 extra minutes of content for last week. I'm not sure what episode 6 got, but they talked about 40 minutes.
About the same.
Yeah.
So we're going to be extra careful tonight. So sorry, I'm not going to be able to share as much straight off of Disney Plus as I've been. But I like having a channel, and I don't want to get. I don't want to get permabanned.
So even without the audio, you got started.
Yeah, because I like I let it move, and there's subtitles, so
Wow.
it's
They're really cracking down.
So I'm just gonna have to.
There must have been a little bit more those last 2 weeks than we have been showing, because not to give them any more reason to go back and look, but none of the other ones got flagged.
Right. The first 5 didn't get flagged for this series. I mean, I've got flagged before. I remember getting flagged on Mando season 3, and I think it was one of the Bad Batch episodes, but I'm not 100% sure. But that all being said, how you guys doing? Did you guys like the episode?
I like the episode.
I have major issues with this.
You have major issues?
Again, I'm a noob, so from a noob's perspective, I liked it. I thought it was,
Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh.
What happened there? That was weird.
That's what happens when
they flagged you.
Right?
like, what is she saying? No.
I know. They should be blocking me. I'm the one who didn't like it, and
right.
Yeah. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, do you want to go over Star Wars news real quick? That's what I was looking at just now.
Yeah. Star Wars news. I heard more reports that they're definitely working on a new animated series.
Okay. Any idea what it's about?
No, but there's Lucasfilm job listings for it. So someone's audio is different. It's Dano.
I thought it was just me.
Yeah, we're double.
What did you do yourself?
Is it him or is it me?
Maybe it's you because you dropped in and out.
Okay, let me leave and come back. Hello. Now it's not doing it. Hi, live people. Sorry, technical difficulties.
Yep,
it's a live stream.
Yeah,
that's the fun thing about the live streams.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we know it's not me.
Oh no, we're going off our rigorous scripting, guys.
Whatever will we do?
That's I think one of the best things about doing it live, the lack of scripting. What's up, Dano?
You must have really pissed somebody off, because I couldn't get any sound all of a sudden.
You got nuked from orbit.
I don't know if you had any more news, but the latest thing off the press is right here, and this is bordering on rumor, is a new Star Wars project by director Sean Levy, who's also doing Deadpool, Wolverine, and worked on Stranger Things.
Okay.
And he was quoted as recently saying he's really excited about a new Star Wars project, and he can finally start talking about it. And that's when the rumors started kicking up into high gear, because he's like, I can actually mention it now, as before he could not. So it makes sense. He's in the Marvel family, so it's not too big of a stretch for him to do a Star Wars film after Deadpool.
Right. Did he do Free Guy also?
I don't know too much about him.
And
he did the Adam Project.
The Adam Project, yeah.
Yep, I think he did do Free Guy. Yeah.
Those are all decent Ryan Reynolds movies. So if you guys like Ryan Reynolds, check him out. I don't know if this means they're going to bring Ryan Reynolds into Star Wars. That would be weird. I don't know about that. I like the guy, but his humor is a little crass for Star Wars.
I mean, maybe they'll do an adult Star Wars, adult comedy Star Wars.
Adult Star Wars movies, yeah, they have that. They're parodies.
Well, they've been
now. Oh man, the Disney lawyers they're coming for us now. This is. I didn't say anything, Disney lawyers.
No, you're the voice of reason. You're getting us back on track. All right.
So that's all I had. That I heard that on multiple Star Wars podcasts and the Star Wars feeds this afternoon when listening to reactions for this episode. So yeah. The
only other Star Wars news that I can think of is there's a sale on all the Star Wars games on Steam.
Okay.
There's a website, fanatical.com, that has here. I'll show you guys here.
Like we're talking all the whole back catalog, like Pod Racer.
Yeah, up to no, not Pod Racer.
They need to remaster that.
Hold on here. So it is
the Jedi Academy.
It's all the Dark Forces 1 and 2, Jedi, everything with Kyle Katarn in it, basically. Let's see here. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, Dark Forces 2, Jedi Academy, Mysteries of the Sith, Republic Commando, Starfighter, Republic Heroes, Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition, Force Unleashed 2, Dark Forces, KOTOR 2, and the Star Wars Empire at War Gold Pack, which is the RTS game, and Star Wars Battlefront Classic. So
Starfighter, but no pod racing.
Yeah, and only Starfighter 1, no Starfighter 2.
The ancient one.
But
some of those are marginally run on modern Windows too. Like, I hope they test those.
This is all through Steam, so if your device runs. Well, for 18 to get all those games for $18 USD, it's a pretty good deal. I mean, I know KOTOR sells by itself for $10 usually, so
you can say you're buying KOTOR and just get all those other games for free.
Yeah, you're basically buying the 2 KOTOR games for $18 and the rest are free.
Now maybe Lobo will play it.
I played those games on Xbox back in the day.
You actually did, huh?
It's real. It is real slow by modern standards. So
the graphics are really rough now too, but the story is great. It's so funny, the actual dialogue and everything.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
But I just want to point out the deal that I'm talking about now. It looks like it ends in 10 days, 4 hours, and 3/4.
Better jump
it ends in 10 days. So get it while the getting's good.
FOMO.
And that was a non-sponsored, just good Star Wars deal is a good Star Wars deal. So if you like
stuff we like,
Yeah, if you like the expanded universe content, that's a whole bunch of it right there. Especially since Kyle Katarn has been turned into Cassian Andor, and well, it's basically Kyle's Cassian with force powers. That's the major difference. But yeah. Anyway, should we get into the episode?
Sure, that's all the news I had. So
Okay.
I think it's a good time. The name of the episode, which it was funny that I asked earlier, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, why can't I find this name? It's because it's the namesake of the show.
Right.
Yep.
Which is
we were talking about that on Star Wars Santa stream this morning.
Directed by Hanel Culpepper and written by Jason McAuliffe. And Jason McAuliffe also did episode 2, 6, and 8, and then the director Hanel, she did 6 and 8. So
okay,
yeah, that kind of makes sense though, because 6 was a space one, right? When the ship. So
well, 6 is the one. 6 is the one that ends with Osha putting on the helmet.
Yeah,
which is where this episode starts.
Yeah. So it kind of makes
which
sense.
Is more
shot those episodes together.
Which is just more evidence that this show should be oh hey, hi Kirsten, how you doing? It should have been a movie. It should have been less episode for what we got. It should have been less episodes.
It would have been tighter storytelling as a mini series, like a micro series maybe, or a film or something.
Yeah,
like
a little more streamlined.
Yeah.
Then they don't get subscribers though. They get people that do. Well, I guess Disney Plus doesn't do free trials, but
they did the same thing for Kenobi. They kind of fluff it. They kind of bloat it a little bit. But can you explain? Oh, go ahead.
But when they bloat it like this, though, it's like it
detracts. Right?
It detracts from the overall reception of it, and it's like if that's what they're trying to do, like they're
shooting themselves in the foot.
They're shooting themselves in the foot because, like, I don't know about you guys, I have a subscription to Disney Plus for 2 reasons. Star Wars and Marvel. Outside of those things, I couldn't care less about anything else on Disney Plus. So
welcome back.
Thanks.
Did you lose sound too? That's what happened to me.
No, I just hit a button I hit something on my phone. I was trying to hit more to see. I was looking at the comments and I knocked myself out of the room.
Is that what the Disney lawyers told you to say?
Yes, absolutely.
Blink if you need help. SOS. We were just saying that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot when they bloat the shows, because then people rate it lower. They think,
right. Yeah, no, I see. I could see how it would have been way more well received as a movie rather than chopping it up.
Maybe less hated at this point.
Yeah.
Less despised. But I have questions. There's stuff about this episode that I liked, actually. There's stuff that confused me completely, and there's stuff that I just thought was like nonsensical. But I want to start at the beginning. Can you explain to me what was happening with the helmet? Because there's probably a lot of debate and question. What do you think was happening, or what is the consensus? What's happening at the beginning with the helmet?
So you're talking about when Chimere's going up to Osha and his eyes turn black and he kind of stops. The general consensus and what I took from it when I was watching it was Osha has that jump into people's mind ability naturally.
She was instinctively doing it.
She was doing it. And instinct. She wasn't deliberately doing it. She was just doing it because she could. It just
remember Obi-Wan training Luke. He gives him the helmet with the blast shield down. It's, I can't see anything. It's like, just feel it. And it's the exact same thing. Is that once she was in it, she was feeling outside it, and just instinctively did it.
and it was her first real reconnection to the Force since she cut herself off of it or whoever forced her out, or however that works with the Jedi Order. Someone leaves.
Okay. We had mentioned that some Force artifacts can be haunted, and I thought that's what was happening. Like there was like a demonic possession, like it was happening with her as she had the helmet on.
Well, okay, let me
because this episode does have like lots of Force echoes.
Yes.
Like they've shown
in games.
Yeah.
In the
that they've can't
Survivor games, there's Force ghosts everywhere. You can see things that happen in the past when you touch certain objects. I forgot what the power is called, but
that's particularly like one thing that guy, the character was strong in.
And also,
but so like, this is just
doesn't that helmet block Force powers, or is it only it's one way, right?
It blocks them incoming. It
you can't read the user
because later on in the episode, Chimera has that crap, and he puts his helmet back on to block someone from noticing him. You know, so it prevents the
okay.
So it prevents the intrusion into his head. No.
So they maintain the logic of that.
The way I thought of it is that it's protecting your brain, but the Force doesn't come out of just your brain, like your Force usage. It pretty much comes out of your entire essence.
Right. I just when his eyes turned black, I'm like, and he seemed like he was struggling. Like, oh wait, what's happening? Is he being stopped by somebody? He's being stopped by her.
Yeah,
she was stopping him from removing the helmet. For why?
She was just stopping, I think, everything.
She was just channeling the Force. Like
she seemed like she was panicking. She seemed like she was panicking a little bit. So I was a little confused and not sure what was going on. But again, as a noob to the Star Wars world, wasn't sure if that was just something that
This power is kind of a new power. Like we haven't seen a power like this in any other Star Wars live action media.
Right.
But we do, I don't know if you guys can see it in this, Osha's eyes have a slight red glow going.
I was going to point this out that it happens later in the show where they change her eye light, where it like she gets a red amber eye light, and then it goes back to like a normal like white blue eye light. So when she is in touch with the like whatever side of the Force she's using, her eyes have been like
it's gone by this point.
Yeah. It was a nice touch that I noticed like twice through the episode, that part, and then later.
I mean, we've seen yellow eyes been associated with dark side users.
Well, but it's usually yellow with red rings around the yellow.
Also, we're like, this is her first step.
Yeah,
it's a debt you accrue. It seems like how messed up channeling the dark side.
So, but also the whole panic thing. While she was panicking, she was having a vision at that moment,
right? Because she was, like we said,
she
was having the vision of May.
Yeah,
she saw actually. Was that her seeing the future?
Yeah, she was having a vision of the future of
May killing Soul, right?
May killing Soul.
She thought
without a lightsaber.
Or so she thought.
Right.
Because there was a lightsaber present, but not used.
Well, yeah, we discover. They talk about who she actually is or what she is later. So she might have been seeing herself or something.
There is only one self.
But yeah, so Chimera thinks it's the future. And she can kill with no weapon. So that's been a thing. And Osha tells Chimera, she's like, the future isn't fixed. I can still stop her, because she wants to save Soul still. I should turn this off so I don't know if you guys heard that Xbox notification pop just a second ago.
I didn't hear it.
So Osha knows where May and Soul are going to be, and she won't tell Kamir.
But she'll let him come with him, though.
Right.
With her.
They make an agreement.
Yeah, to go together. And then we cut to
whoever gets her gets her. So we're basically doing this like is that Good, Bad, and not Good, Bad, and the Ugly? That's
a few dollars more.
Yeah, a few dollars more. So where they're like come to an agreement, like, oh, we can have both hunt them together.
Well, it's also kind of like Mando and IG-11 looking for Grogu.
Yeah.
It's like all the way up until the point of, oh, you're gonna kill him. But that's a whole nother series. Which I think BlahBlah Binks would like the Mandalorian series if she liked this one.
I was mentioning that too because for a lot of first time Star Wars people or long time and not like especially that first season is like a nice way to like dip your toes back in because you don't need to know anything what's going on really, and the compelling characters and very tightly written show. Like they knew where they were going, so that made makes a big difference.
Right. So Soul and Osha have their little plan, and we cut back to this ship over this same freaking planet.
No, I thought this is Brendock now.
This is Brendock.
Are they at Brendock? I thought they were still gonna go to
Remember
Brendock.
At the very end, he hits the hyperspace.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Thanks.
And he tell he tells her right away, where are we? In Brendock. Where it all began.
Back to where it started. Basically, right?
Also,
the show didn't start on Brendock, did it?
No, it started on an unnamed planet with Indara.
Yep.
That's right.
And Soul's with May, not Osha, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he is definitely.
You said Osha. I was like,
he's not on his A game right now
at all.
No. He's all shook up. He's all emotional.
Yeah, he's falling apart.
The true uncontrollable power, right? Emotions.
Oh yeah, that was a good burn later.
Yep.
But he doesn't even see that she's like jimmying the lock while he's like, "Hey, we just got to Brendock."
I just kept thinking he's a terrible Jedi. I mean, again, I don't know much about them, but I mean,
emotions cause you to have like blind spots or like excessive desire to do a thing.
And when you have force powers, that's a bad combination.
I just feel like he shouldn't. I mean, I know she's like tied up, but she is who she is. So I feel like he should have been a little more aware of what
he's having to face the fact that he's a murderer now. He's like, the past is coming. Like the chickens are coming home to roost now.
Right. Yeah. So I just like that last episode we had. That wasn't anybody getting a story. That was us getting a story. No character. Like it just again makes me feel like that last episode we saw was poorly placed.
No,
in the series.
Yeah. Because he sat down and this is the story like I want to tell you, and then you're right. How we don't really
and then here we are. Like this is him sitting down.
Waking, with her waking up, or like not even like waking up. Is it just like establishing shot list?
Yeah,
we get like
this episode picks up immediately after episode 6. Like
again, I can't believe you're more not more on top of that editing choice of like we go from establishing shot of the ship to just like talking. Like where are we? There's no scene transition of like from the previous them having a conversation of him telling the story. So it doesn't really like fit together. Man.
There's like Lobo likes to say, choices were made.
Choices were made
in the production of this series.
Lots of choices.
I mean, if this episode aired after episode 6, you say?
Yeah.
That's where you would want it. Then what would they do for the finale? I feel like it leaves something. They couldn't show episode 7 as the finale. That would have been horrible.
The truth.
I mean, I don't know. This episode
they
seemed a
titled
little
the
more.
episode-
That's how Rashomon works. They give you the two unreliable stories, and then the last one's the truth. And the truth is
Right.
basically
you said
elements
that
of both are
because-
actually true.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Rashomon because Leslie Headland said that that's what they inspired this series.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so it's very much a story of like one person tells the story of like how they were assailed, and then the other person tells the story of like how they were assailed, and then like two random bystanders who have the actual like unbiased truth give the actual like what happened. And I think kind of both of them.
I mean, I guess with different editing all around, I guess it could have worked then, but it would have everything would have been.
Well, it was a very structured. If they put episode 7 at the end, it's a very unclimactic.
Right. Yeah.
Thing.
It would definitely be.
It was like it would be more of a post-credit scene, like a whole episode of post-credit.
Right.
So this is what actually went down. Or if they even like
they need to change the finale, but
like I don't know if maybe if they took the scenes that they filmed for episodes 3 and 7, and when Vernestra is like doing her little investigation, instead of just having sound effects for the force echo things that she notices, actually show those scenes.
Actual flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about like fundamental
and have it being Vernestra.
We can edit our own version of it and then rewatch it together.
There's precedent for supercuts. They did it for Kenobi. I'm sure somebody will do a supercut, like a 3-hour supercut for this show.
Yeah, but the supercut of Kenobi was just the chase scene for 10 hours.
Oh yeah, you should see that, Kate. Chase scene starring Flea.
Yeah.
You mentioned Vernestra. What a terrible character.
Wow.
According to all the book High Republic book fans, that Vernestra is not faithfully represented in this.
Really? Oh, she's not meant to be like this?
No, she's not. She's basically like she's actually like I don't know. She's the hero of the story. She is like actually yeah.
It definitely doesn't come off as the hero in this story.
She seems like a villain. She seems like a villain in this. I thought that's how
people were speculating she was the Chimera's master.
Yeah, would have made. Right. I would have totally bought that. I would have totally.
But I think it's more than she has. It's more than she has nebulous like motives.
Yeah.
And it's not that she's necessarily overtly evil. It's just that like she's operating on different criteria than you're used to.
Oh, we'll get into it because there's the stuff that she does near the end is like pretty serious stuff.
Okay, but we'll get to that at the very end too, because like it's all being like okayed by someone.
Yeah, so now they make Yoda the evil person too. He's in on it.
He's done it before.
Let's see. Dang, they're taking down everybody in this series.
The thing is that like it's important to. You don't want like the copycats is I guess the idea.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here. What are all the witnesses? All the people all the children, the Padawans and the younglings that were with Saul literally were with him when he was supposedly murdering people. That makes no sense. That she mind wipe the entire Jedi Order? That's the part that like I don't understand about this. How can this conspiracy happen? But I don't want to get that far ahead. We'll get there. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Spoiler alert.
I got totally lost.
I mean Dan's backgrounds. But that's pretty early in the episode.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Tenebris.
I throw him some chicken bones once in a while and he hides.
He reaches out with his skeletal fingers.
So we have Soul talking to May, saying that what happened to your coven was an accident, even though they were all trying to, the Jedi's, like I said before, searching without a warrant. They were in there when they shouldn't have been.
Yeah. It was
and then we get May asking Soul, why did you blame this whole thing on me? And Soul's just like, you started the fire. So
and you were dead, so it was easy.
And you locked everybody inside. And it's like, it was easy. You're the scapegoat. You set yourself up. Just like someone else kind of does. And
I don't have so much problem with this part. Is she still on the table?
She's still on the table. Yeah.
Okay.
She's picking the lock. He doesn't know she's picking the lock still.
What's the little droid's name again? I can never remember.
Pip. Yeah.
Like Pip just knows, like, oh, Master's in trouble. I gotta help her out.
Right.
Oh, he's immoral now. He doesn't care.
It's a good thing that the factory reset has like a criminal activity default. Like, I mean, I like him. I would want him to bail me out of handcuffs too.
Did Pip get a full wipe, or did he just get rebooted?
He's still red lighting.
He said factory.
He goes, but it's,
maybe it's a bad factory. It's like an underground black market. Like his default is criminal activity. So
she made it less criminal?
Well, yeah. I mean, where did Osha get that droid in the first place? I mean,
probably
last we met her. She got on Temu.
Yeah.
No, she got it. Like when we first meet Osha, she's working on a trade federation ship. I mean, those guys aren't exactly on the up and up all the time.
They're sketchy too.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't want to be boarded.
That's probably the most legal device on the ship.
Right? Yeah. But we get this revelation. Everyone in there died because of the four of you.
And that is fundamentally true.
Yep.
No problem with that.
But Soul's like, it was right for us to intervene. Was it?
No.
Was it?
No.
Like
the council was telling them, no, leave them alone and leave.
Yeah.
Remember,
you've
like
they said you've already interfered enough.
Do your research and leave them alone.
Yep.
And it kind of breaks, though. You know how the witches were saying, oh, these Jedi are interfering, and they want to take us away. Actually, no, the Jedi wanted to leave you guys alone. It's these four.
It's not even these four. It's one guy.
One guy,
One guy is looking for it. Another guy wants to go home.
Yep.
And a Wookiee who's vulnerable.
Yep.
It was not a comedy of errors, but maybe, it's a confluence of errors.
And Indara said no, right? But then she went along with all of it. So
yeah, she should have been the one that put the hammer down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have.
Stop.
She should have been a little bit more assertive.
Well, she was the master, right?
Yep.
She was like the top dog, and she just was like
in charge.
No, but okay, I'll go with you.
You've already gone. Okay, I might as well support you.
Right.
Right. It's like an abusive relationship where one partner is forced to back the other, even though the other's in the wrong 100%. But they know. I don't know. But we get this revelation from Soul. You and Osha are not twins.
Which we kind of knew, right? We kind of figured out, at least.
Right. And he gives her.
I had my idea of what was going to happen with them.
Yeah, but like when he says you're not even sisters, and that coincides with Pip unlocking the handcuff, we get
you know who's the only right character of this entire series? Basil. Basil.
Until about 2 seconds later when he does something completely confusing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there, but
it wasn't confusing to me.
Well, you're smarter than me, so
explain to me what the hell he was doing.
We'll get there.
Okay.
So
maybe I think I know, but yeah, we'll get there.
So Osha gets away from May gets away from Soul and jumps in their external ship.
How does she get away? She tases Soul.
I just had that shot up there. She tases him with Pip and then runs to what looks like an escape pod door, but it's really for a landing craft. Which she's in there powering it up. That
she also gets to do another one of the few times the curse happens. She tells him,
I did. I skipped right past that.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
I did pick up on that. I was like, did she just say that?
Yeah.
They do mention hell in Star Wars a couple times now.
Han.
Yeah. Han is the most recognized one with the tauntaun on Echo Base where he says, "It'll see you in hell." But also Uncle Owen talking to Aunt Beru about the whereabouts of Luke. He's like, he better have those moisture evaporators repaired or there'll be hell to pay.
And wasn't there like in Mandalorian or Boba Fett too, like one mention of hell or something?
Something like that, yeah.
There was one more, but yeah, there's hell. I just like that Pip has a taser in him.
Well, I mean, Pip is like
multifunction tool.
He's the multi-tool for that. So we finally get the scene that we've been seeing in the trailers with the space chase through the asteroid belt.
Now I know where the money went.
Yeah, $180 million. I mean, it looked great.
Coming soon to a Disney theme park near you on Star Tours. No,
yeah,
that would be awesome.
At least that's my I mean, I would so much rather go through this than seeing
I know the Purgles.
The Purgles out of continuity order. Like that's happened the last several times I've been on that ride.
I feel like it's on every one of the new ones.
It is on, yeah. So yeah, since so BlahBlah and I have Magic Keys and we go to Disneyland fairly often. We've got the Purgle finale for Star Tours every time we've gone on the ride since it came out.
Yeah,
they're pushing the Purgles.
Yeah, they must have just added it to all of them because there's no way.
Sometimes we get Ahsoka in the mid, sometimes we get Andor in the mid, but every time it ends with the Purgle.
But you also get Ahsoka way more than you get Andor.
Yeah. The Purgle's okay when it's Ahsoka. I think kind of. It's outside of continuity, so it's a little weird.
For me, it doesn't make I don't know what the continuity is for any of it. So I was just the first time I saw it, I was like, whoa, what are those? Those are amazing. But now I'm kind of like, okay, they play it so much that it takes away something. But I guess, the majority of visitors at the parks are probably, not key holders that are able to go on it as often as we are. So it makes sense. I can't complain, really.
Right. So we're coming up on things. So
the Basil parts.
Soul turns on his targeting computer.
Yep.
I didn't know if this was he was going to try to fire on her, or if he was trying to capture her in some sort of a tractor beam.
That's what I thought. I mean, because what would be the point of he's chasing her to get her back? He doesn't want to kill her, does he?
Who knows?
I was waiting for something to shoot out of the ship to grab her.
Yeah,
why,
a grappling.
Why was he shooting?
To disable her?
Either way. Disable her inside of an asteroid field? That's murder. If you disable someone in an asteroid field, even though
That's not an asteroid field though. It's
an ice ring. It's an ice ring.
It's a ring. Yeah, planetary ring.
Mm-hmm. But still, that it's lethal.
They don't have some kind of like force magnet to like, draw her back in.
Tractor beam.
I'm pretty sure he just stopped Saul from a cold-blooded murder.
So that's the point.
But
Basil, to realize, hey, this
but like so this the way that this control looks, that doesn't look like a cannon trigger. It
looks like a torpedo, and there's no friendly torpedoes.
Right?
You don't shoot. You don't shoot an ion. You shoot a
balloons pop out.
Yeah.
But wait, so but if
torpedoes.
Yeah, there's ion torpedoes in that.
They're like
Star Wars. The Star Wars Squadrons video game has them too.
But we don't know what he was doing here. Like he was flipping switches in the cockpit. Maybe the actor
and targeting.
Yeah.
I think Basil just sees that he is like completely lost it at this point. Like he is
still running on that pure emotion from a couple of episodes ago.
He's completely unfocused.
The whole series, really.
He doesn't see May escape from it. Like he gets stabbed with Pip in the chest, and then he doesn't see Basil sabotaging the ship right behind him.
Right.
Like
he's a terrible Jedi.
You're talking about people who have like intuition and can see like shortly into the future, not seeing anything going on around him.
Well, they have tunnel vision. They're hyper focused.
Yeah.
So Basil is stopping.
Any idea what that says?
Drink your Ovaltine.
Let's see. 4 than 3. I don't know.
Some nerd has translated that.
Right?
Yeah, someone probably translated it.
I'll check out New Rockstar as Eric Voss.
But it also gives us one of the things we very rarely get to see in a Star Wars. It breaks the third 3 degrees of freedom. They actually start drifting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that does
not happen. Saul goes drift kinging out there through the debris field.
Yeah.
Because he gets disabled.
So that's why I could totally see that happening on the Star Tours ride.
Mm-hmm.
If you think
the original,
I don't know, that spin around that they do nowadays is kind of in.
Yeah,
people puking. They might puke on that, but
yeah,
the original Star Tours, if you recall, had the ice fields. Remember, you would hit it and it would shatter.
When you fly through the out, you get into the big asteroid.
Yeah, but it's an ice
or the ice comet. That's what it was.
Ice comet field. Yeah, that was cool. And it was like chunks of ice would slam into the ship and everything. Yeah, I wish they would bring that part back.
They should bring the original stuff back. Yeah. That's stuff they should do during Star Wars month that they have.
Yeah, exactly. During
Season of the Force.
Yeah. They should have at least one of their 4 units running the old stuff and just have like a separate queue for it.
Right. They could do half.
You could go on the regular, but put the fast pass line would be for the oldie, and then everybody else the other line. But yeah, so we get May crash lands on Brendok, and then we get
all these crashes in this series. Nobody the ships don't flip in the Star Wars world. They just kind of hit the ground and.
Well, she kind of pilots it in a little bit, so she's kind of good. Some of the ships are more aerodynamic. They actually have wings with flaps and stuff.
The crashes are pretty graceful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Unless you're a red shirt, there is a lot of crashes in Star Wars. Like every
red shirt, yellow blade. What's the difference?
Yeah. Being force sensitive makes you a good pilot, it seems, though.
Yeah.
Just in general.
True. Yeah, and May has been using the Force a lot more frequently than, let's say, Osha has. So we cut to
our favorite place, our favorite office building,
the big old city. But this is, So I mean, that's
not
the
the Jedi
Jedi.
Temple.
The Jedi Temple's there in the background.
Got it.
But this is some other city, some other business
office.
Yeah, I think it was Screengrass pointing out that like one of the buildings later does not exist after this event. Like one of the buildings that like Vernestra operates out is like not there.
I mean, that can be explained away. That planet gets reshaped all the time.
It does. Things get built into things, and
they drop other buildings on top of other buildings.
I think her division gets the death penalty for this.
They should. Especially her nerdy assistant.
This guy?
Mog. Poor Mog. He's kind of good at his job, which makes him out of place.
So
like you let it,
Dr. Lecter's assistant,
right?
You let him wander in the. It's like, you know what it reminded me of? I forgot. Dr. Strangelove when she tells him like. Mog tells her the guy is in the like control room. It's like, you let him in the control room? And it just reminded me of like Dr. Strangelove, where it's like, you can't let him in the war room. Board. He'll see the board. Yeah. So you're gonna let him see the big board.
Just I honestly to goodness thought her character was being set up to be like a villain, like super villain, because she is so mean and like she's
right.
She like her facial reactions and like everything she does is like, how can I cover this up? How can I screw these people over? Like, man, she's the hero of the book. It's shocking to me.
Here's what I think though. I think she's like a more wooden version of Ray Seahorn from like Better Call Saul. Like she's just kind of like stiff and very, very controlled.
Could be the makeup. It could be the makeup where she can't like.
But I think that I think the actress is intentionally doing it as quite stiff and regimented.
Yeah.
Even in her in her movements, you see it.
Like
it's
even
not just
the Senate is calling them out. Like, you guys need oversight. Like something's going on here. Like, so the rumors are already like leaking out. There's probably spies in the Jedi Order, like Jedi who are turning against them.
Well, there's got to be some kind of someone in the order is leaking information, because why would a senator know this?
Mm-hmm.
Why would a senator be surprised about Vernestra going through hyperspace?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why would that be common knowledge?
It's probably her assistant just blabbermouthing, you know, like, oh, she gets sick when she goes to hyperspace.
Well, we've seen how she treats. It's implied how she treats her Padawans.
Like,
right.
So this is oh my god, why can't I remember this guy's name?
His costume's cool. I like the way the look of
what's this actor's name again? I forget. And I used to watch him on Supergirl all the time. He played Martian Manhunter on the Supergirl series on the CW and briefly on Channel 2. I mean CBS.
I during the scenes I was kind of pulling for him. I'm like, yes, you should investigate. You should, rein in the Jedi. Like, there's something sketch going on. Like, and he can tell that she's stonewalling him at every. There's no transparency. He even says that. Not that they have to be completely transparent, but he's just. There's something foul smelling.
Right.
He's completely right, though. What he says is like, why they need oversight.
Yeah.
It's like, because if one of them snaps or something, he says.
You're a dangerous religious cult who has no oversight and very extensive power.
Sounds familiar.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. And you try to control the uncontrollable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Vernestra even kind of shoots herself in the foot a little bit. It's like, we're investigating a murder and there's multiple victims. Like, multiple victims.
Right. Like, he only has it. You're running a murder investigation.
And
then she's like, oh yeah, the multiple murders.
So one of the big controversies about this show is this is kind of like an underlying theme of this show is like the Jedi are not all they're cracked up to be. A lot of people have, that's like a big blasphemy for them. They're like they're shitting on the Jedi or whatever, and like this is not George Lucas's Star Wars or whatever. I actually don't have as big a problem with this. It's just some of the internal logic that happens at the end of this episode that kind of like doesn't make any sense to me. But this doesn't bother me so much as long as they can make it fit with the Jedi that we see in by episode 1 in the Phantom Menace. You know
how it.
But here's the best description of the Jedi ever.
Yes.
A delusional cult that claims to control the uncontrollable. Yeah.
You should just force choke him right there.
Right?
I found your lack of faith disturbing, you know.
He fell.
And you notice that she's always using her force powers to open doors and slam doors and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that was what I was
she's
like.
reckless.
The casual use of the force is just kind of like, I didn't feel good about that.
No, it doesn't feel good. Her character doesn't feel good. I would feel very, very sketched out if I was in a room with her.
It's like, okay, they talk about how the force is like this living thing that goes through all like, and there's like a bigger, grander vision of what the force is. So I'm going to use it to open the door. I'm going to use it to grab a drink. Like,
push your assistants out of the room.
Why are you bending the will of the force to do this menial stuff when you can just press the button?
It's a very Darksider kind of behavior to me.
It is. It's like you're above the earth, like.
And you don't see Kamir opening doors with the force, though. You know, like he's teleporting into places. You know, he's using the force for like crazy stuff. Anyways, I don't like her.
No, I
don't like you.
So it's a little bit off topic. The actress that plays Vernestra is
married to Leslie Headland.
Is Leslie Headland's wife. And like I have this weird like, did she get the job because she's Leslie Headland's wife?
I don't have a problem with that.
Is this a 100% nepotism job?
She didn't write the character.
No,
this is more on Headland. You know,
like producers are definitely like rooted in it, but there probably has to be other producers and the studio people, and then there's casting, like
director.
Yeah, so you have to go through multiple layers. It doesn't hurt. No, definitely not.
So we're back on do they still not name this planet? They still don't name that planet, do they?
Which one? The one that Kamir
the one that Kamir lives on, yeah.
No, they don't.
Plagueis' planet.
Yeah.
So I mean, with him showing up the way he did there over your shoulder, it definitely seems like it's that oh my god, why can't I remember the name of the freaking planet? Valdimnock? Is that it? It definitely kind of solidifies that this is the planet that from the what is that book? Man, I'm blanking out. The book with
it's got pages in it. I swear.
The book that's like Palpatine's kind of origin book.
Oh, okay.
With Darth, with Plagueis and Tenebrous and all that.
It's not called Plagueis.
It's that planet. Plagueis, yeah.
I would like to see a side note. I would like to see a Palpatine show, if done well, and they did it like a very dark, well-written show. Maybe like I think it would be,
I mean, if they could take this series and
I was trying to think of an example.
Tell us 100 years of Star Wars stories, you know, in 5 seasons, that'd be great. You know, this being season 1 of those 5, that'd be great. Tie it all together, make it all flow right into episode 1. The Phantom Menace. But yeah, so we get Kamir trying to convince Osha to let him train her. And she's like, no, he's like, well, Osha like jumped. I mean, May jumped on the chance.
Yeah, the whole you didn't even like she didn't even think about it.
Right. And I think it was kind of, I don't know, it doesn't seem like anybody else that I've watched a stream from last night and today. Osha never refuses the second offer. He says last chance, and she just goes, I told you I'm not my sister. She doesn't say no the second time.
It's not a specific no.
Yeah. It's a vague vagarity. But then we get I'm actually going to let this little video play, even though it's probably going to get clipped, but I'm just going to show it, and then I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to explain what was shown. How about that? That way, if it does get cut out, then
ET.
Right. So, as you can tell, that's the picture that's there behind Dan. So we saw a hand slowly creep out, and then a face come leaning out, and that again, we get what everybody can see there behind DanMalore, and that's Darth Plagueis, the Mun. Well, we don't know if it's for sure Darth Plagueis, but definitely looks identical to the character on the
Same
Darth
species.
Plagueis book.
Same species, right?
Yeah.
Has he been? He hasn't been in this series at all, right?
No, but he is mentioned in Star Wars. Was that is episode 3 when Anakin is at the theater? With Palpatine?
He gets told a story, a bedtime story. About
Have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
Yeah. And
they say he had power over life and death itself. Power to create life.
Yeah.
Unnatural.
Some say it would be unnatural.
So his first screen mentioned in a movie from 2005, now making a screen appearance.
Yep.
In 2024.
First screen appearance. He's so far been in at least one novel and a few comic books.
Got it.
But so we're back on Brendock now, and that structure still looks pretty solid. Like,
I mean, it's made out of a mountain, so
it is a mining facility too.
It is. So that little fire and all the witches, like, are they all dead? Do we know? Like, we saw bodies laying down.
When I saw that thing creep out from behind the wall, I was like, is that some kind of like zombified coral or something? Because I had no idea who it was. So I was like, oh, maybe they're not all dead, but I don't know what that Plagueis guy looks like.
If there's another season, they might have some mystery. That might be one of the mysteries. What happened to the others?
Right.
Yeah, because there's still a lot of like plot threads.
There's loose ends.
Yeah. Like, why introduce Darth Plagueis for like no apparent reason, implying that okay, maybe he's the master, but never really going into any. It just goes back to like Kamir never getting a backstory.
Right.
Also, I forgot to mention. Did you see the thing about like Kamir being similar to the Arabic word for moon?
Yeah, I did catch that.
So
and soul is sun. In a lot of languages. So, I mean, the solar system.
What's the name of our star? Soul.
Yeah. But let's see here. Let me see if I can do this.
I think those are like writers' references, like they like to put those little literary references in there. Is the next scene where they walk up to the elevator door, or am I jumping ahead?
Oops. Because
I actually like that scene.
He's like, it's all sad, punching buttons.
So just for visual reference, there's that's the cover of the Darth Plagueis book, and that's that character that's creeping out over over Dan's shoulder there.
Palpatine is the guy on his knee. That's the Emperor
Yeah.
from Star Wars. So it's a long story.
That's
but,
the Emperor from Star Wars. Is that what you said? You really said that?
Yeah. I mean, the Emperor from Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
They should write it like Breaking Bad style, the Palpatine series, where he starts to try. He wants to be a good person. He's a normal, semi-wealthy elite, and then like he just, because he wants to like control life and save people, like he goes super dark side.
Right.
It deserves to be written. I hope they don't do it unless they write it really good.
Like I think that a lot of this, they're still trying to write it for like the widest audience possible. And doing something in that style would definitely be for more.
I mean, that was a huge show, man. It's one of the biggest shows in the past 30 years.
If you say so, I still haven't watched it.
I know, but you only watch a little sliver of stuff.
Yes, yes.
But not
I like a little bit less than almost
nothing. I'm talking
nothing.
about the snappy writing. I'm talking about like you don't know because you haven't seen the show, but blah blah.
I don't think you'd hate that show, Lobo.
I know enough about what it's about where I can't root for anybody on it.
Well, that's kind of part of the whole point of it.
So,
I mean,
yeah. So I just
at some point you do root for certain things, but I think it's worth a shot for you to like just give it a shot.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not holding you to all of the seasons, but let me at least try to introduce it to you.
I think I've watched like the first or second episode, like first 2 episodes, and I was just like,
but that's I guess a conversation for another stream.
You would be rooting for this character that as it goes on, like turns out to be like the most evil, like what happens to that character in that show, like that's what happens to Palpatine by the end of the story. It would be amazing if they could kind of write it for. I'm not suggesting you watch that show. I'm just saying that whole concept.
I get it.
Characters like evolution over the series would be amazing for Palpatine. Right. Anyways.
So this shot here is Sol turning his locator device back on. Basically pinging the Jedi so they can find him. Because that's smart.
Find his body.
Right? Let's see where to pick this back up. So Sol goes looking.
Elevator.
The elevator. They're not quite there yet.
They haven't landed yet.
Because he's just barely off the ship. Because there's your buddy.
His face. Look at his face. That's hilarious.
Oh,
little snitch has to turn the transponder back on.
Yeah, he's a snitch and a turncoat now too. Like he turned on Sol.
His loyalties to the Jedi Order. Not
right.
Sol.
Well, I think he just wants to get back to Coruscant. He's like,
this shot even looks so dark side, dude. Like the lighting. Look at her. She's in shadow. I just everything about this character is like villain. That's the visual language that I was getting during this episode and the previous one, but like it got worse in this one.
Also, she's making a mystery call as the scene begins.
Right.
We find out later, but yeah.
She's
trying to get in contact with someone.
She is,
and it's unclear.
Yep. And then, so then Mog comes in and tells her that we found Sol, and she tells him to gather as many Jedi as you can without raising suspicion or alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
already so sketch.
That's so sketch.
Yeah, but also the answer to it, it's like the hostile negotiation line. It's like, you expect a confrontation? A resolution.
Mm-hmm.
That is like, yeah.
So this is Kamir's ship. first real good close up shot that we get of it. And I didn't notice this before, but there is 2 separate cockpit spots, like the old Bespin twin cloud car. From a certain angle, it's got a very TIE fighter-y kind of shape with the dome in the middle and the solar panel, the wing panels. But the forward swoop thing almost kind of looks Buck Rogers-y, Battlestar Galactica-y. Or like an X-wing cut down the middle. But yeah, is that what they used? Did they just build that out of other toy model?
It's a crash kit. It's a crash.
Yeah,
kit.
that's a bash. Yeah,
kit bash.
It's a kit bash. It's a total kit bash. I didn't realize that.
$180 million, folks,
for a kit bash.
No, I mean they would do that anyway. That's a tradition in Star Wars. So
yeah, I mean the whole
there's
Death Star was.
There's a visual language to this crap and all that.
So
it's kit bash the universe.
So Osha turns off all of Chimera's controls, basically locks him in the cockpit. Which is
he let a tech neck into his ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
He actually knows how to like manipulate the stuff on a hardware level.
We get Osha film him in. There's no spaceport, but there's a landing site near their fortress. And we get another little shot of. Sorry, I missed the pause. So here's Soul hiking up the hill to get to the top entrance, and we see that obelisk that's right by that hole, which is probably the source of the Virgins, while all the witches were worshiping there. And we can see Chimera's ship flying by in the background there as well.
Yeah, I mentioned this in the previous episode, or one of the episodes, that I always thought they were going to throw the girls in that hole or something, sacrifice them.
I mean, it wouldn't be surprising.
And the Jedi thought they were going to be sacrificed too. That was one of the reasons.
Right. Well, I mean,
that was his justification. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the hole in that obelisk. You know, it's I don't know.
With that. Yeah.
I mean, they did think that the girls were going to be sacrificed,
or one of them at least. For the other, I don't know. They were just jumping to conclusions.
So I don't know what's up. Like this little part kind of was confusing for me because like we have Soul, and he kind of. I'm just going to let it play for a second. I know I shouldn't, but he like goes towards that door like he senses something there, but nothing's ever revealed there, at least not yet.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of people died in there, or at least a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get a super fast wipe.
Right. And then we have, so here's where you were talking about them coming up to the door. Looking up the hill, and Osha's like, I got to fix this control panel so we could get inside. Unless you want to climb.
And he's like,
climb, yeah. And he goes straight, Batman style, ninja style, just poof. Yeah, he says, "Are you sure that's the only way?" And he just vanishes. I'm wondering if Chimera's somehow has that ability to turn into smoke. Like,
well, I've wondered what his connection is to the space witches for a while now, and I was hoping, I was kind of anticipating maybe some kind of answer or clue today, because it being for me, hopefully just season finale, but I feel like he definitely has some deeper connection to them than we know yet.
Yeah.
He's got some advanced powers to be able to like, disappear. Because he did it in the previous fighting episode 4 or whatever 5. What he's disappearing in front of people right during fights.
Yeah.
To chase somebody else, so he can do that stuff. I just want to say I like this door because it's like a video game. You either have to have a technical skill level perk, or a force perk to operate it. You either gotta like jury rig it or just use the force to open it, because it happens twice in this episode. I just like that. So obviously she fixes it because she's a tech mech. Now people are complaining, this place has been broken down. It burned down 16 years ago. Why does the door still work? Like that. Little stuff.
I mean, I had that thought. It looked pretty destroyed, and she just kind of hot wires it, right?
Yeah.
You can just make something up like critical systems have a marginal power backups and blah blah.
Right. Yeah.
Like it wasn't powered by the main reactor.
It's like
independent power system.
It's like going to a junkyard and getting parts from an old vehicle. I mean, you get them working again.
Yeah.
You just gotta, connect the right thing to the right thing, and you're in business.
It's solar powered.
So, OSHA. So this is where Soul was just standing, looking out at the spot where he let the girl
scene of the
drop.
crime.
And then we have, you could bring that back up one more time. You could barely see, just at the very bottom, you can see a hand. Like if you're looking at the subtitles, right over the BR, you could see some fingers in a
fingerprints.
No, her hand.
Fingers.
Oh,
because
I missed that.
I can't see because my.
All right, and now there's 2 hands.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Right.
Yeah, she climbs up.
Yeah.
Right after.
And then we have.
I thought you meant like one of the bodies from
oh no. It's like a severed hand. No.
Of all the things, some of the bodies, like
guys,
some of the robes.
I just gotta say though, of all the things like that are kind of like not well executed in the show, that moment of her climbing out of the hole is actually fantastic, like thematically.
Yeah,
it's the hole she died in.
Yeah,
died.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's the hole that her whole life basically fell into, and this is basically the moment that like they've officially like crossed. Like, like May is now the one on the arc to be the good one, and OSHA's on the path to the dark side.
Yep. It's amazing what an outfit change will do, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the terrible civilian robes.
Right?
The civilian. Yep.
It's such a terrible.
Thank you, Yord.
Yord.
It's like if it was a video game, it's like the default skin that you like start the game with. Like you immediately want to change it as soon as you can because it's terrible. But she has to wear it gold. It's kind of like her punishment, so I'm okay with that. It's part of her penance. It's part of her penance.
So everybody's now has gotten to this location, and we have. I don't know why. I don't understand why they still
call him the stranger.
I mean, yeah, he hasn't been given a name, but we were introduced to him as Khmer. Like, so why isn't it just Khmer still?
Because that's just like his civilian name.
Well,
He's got a
I mean,
that's not his identity.
I don't really think that's his real. He's got like a
no. It's probably not.
I mean, if the show goes on, maybe there's some big reveal.
They're leaving some room for
maybe who he becomes.
But that's the most name that we have for him.
Yeah,
because it was one that he used himself.
I just call him Jason Mendoza still. So
it's the power of Manny.
They were calling him Liu Kang. Liu Kang. Apparently, he was in Mortal Kombat or something. So there people were calling him. And then Liu Kang comes there. It was kind of
so yeah. So we get the beginning of another very well choreographed lightsaber fight. I'm not going to show any of that because that's going to get flagged.
The fighting's good. The fighting's good.
Yeah.
No complaints about that.
It's
the lightsabers looked a little. They didn't look as shiny as they normally should be. That was my only thing in this episode.
Well, so in the movies, for the most part, everything's rotoscoped.
Yeah, and this was like a first time it was like a practical.
Yeah,
like,
this they actually used like force effects sabers from Disneyland.
Right.
But what
so
I'm saying is, like,
they said that like the reason that like the lightsabers are so chunky is because the battery packs are like big.
Yeah.
So
they gotta fit 4 D-cell batteries.
Right. So they're actually using something that is providing like environmental light, though.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. I'm talking about like the color grading. Those the actual blades, they need to clip a little slightly, where like the very center of the blade is almost white.
Yeah.
And this one, it's like it looks plastic, like they're hitting each other with plastic colored sticks. You know
that's what they're
doing.
doing.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm talking about the color grading, like that should have been fixed in post. At least on my TV, they just looked wrong. There's no way for me to actually, like, if I were to take a photo of it, it doesn't look right because the color balance and everything. But it was noticeable. Like the lightsabers didn't look right compared to every other lightsaber on every other Disney show and the original Star Wars movies.
The other practical lightsaber blades that used to actually have light had like giant battery packs. They said like it had like a fanny pack of batteries and a cable.
This shot, okay, it looks okay, and part of it might be watching it in HDR. I don't know, like it, but that lightsaber should be a little brighter, just slightly in the center. Should be a little wider. I think
the previous part of the fight, like where he disarms him, kind of shows like the thematically confusing nature of the show, though, because they're giving like Saul the like heroic swell when he defends himself, and then we like go to like continue his degradation. So it's
there's a couple little shots.
It's a fall of the
so yeah, so we have this. Soul is like pushing the saber towards Chimera with Chimera.
This shot
pulling
looks
his hand.
This looks better. Yeah,
but this is because
he wants to pull his blade into the.
That blue blade is about to get turned off because
I forgot that.
And the same with the red blade, because like Chimera's going to turn his blade off because he knows if it touches his helmet, it's going to short out, and who wants to short it out lightsaber? And Soul, since he's fought this guy already, knows that if it touches his helmet, it's going to short out. So they both turn their blades off.
Did you notice the little particles start like get like these little pieces of Soul's lightsaber start to pull into the helmet? If you watch the scene very carefully,
like this scene right,
starts getting stuck to the helmet.
If you're looking at this on a big enough screen, you can see 2 little dots real close to where the blades are crossing, and I think that's the start of what you're talking about. Where the power
it's just a cool effect. It's just a cool
kind of being absorbed a little bit.
It's almost like the helmet wants to be touched by the lightsaber so it can short it out. You know? There's that.
Oh yeah,
that magnetic field is pulling it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he does get that one move off though. Tries to stab him in the face there.
I forgot.
I like the little mini saber.
Yeah, I forgot that Saul does the super dishonorable thing in that fight, though. He turns off his saber, like while engaged with another one. But it's not considered like a light side move.
Gentlemanly. Chimera is not going to win here lightsaber because Saul is that good. That's what you get to.
Plus he's willing to compromise himself to fight this one.
I mean, what are you going to do? You don't want your lightsaber to get shorted out.
I don't think it's necessarily even the cortosis like at play. I think he's literally just trying to get inside the guard, because he turns it off and turns it right back on inside of his like guard, at which Chimera like defends himself. But still, he did the thing that is considered like the lowest thing, like one of the lowest things a Jedi can do in a lightsaber fight is to like turn the lightsaber off and then turn it back on, like while missing the blade. Like,
yeah, but
you could be doing that. You could also be like swinging past with your blade off, getting alternate angles and turning it on. Like you could be doing all kinds of dirty stuff.
Well, that's what Kamir does to Jackie in episode 5. He turns that little one on 3 times, off and on, bop bop bop.
Yep.
Like
he hole punches her.
Yep.
Aww, Jackie.
I actually assumed he shanked her, just like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I didn't notice that he turned it off. I thought he just.
I don't.
On off. Like, that's
right.
That's what I understood it
because
there wasn't
the
enough
don't look bright
movement.
Again. See, they look dull. They should have fixed that.
Right. But
I thought it was a little bug thing. They could fix it later, and nobody would ever know. It's just a little thing that kind of. I was like, why did the blades look strange? I didn't know that they were actually using the real.
And then there we have Kamir's lightsaber has been destroyed, basically. Yep. His emitter got cut off.
Yeah, having the little blade you mentioned before in Jedi Survivor, that is how that character in Jedi Survivor has it too. It's like a little one that comes out of the big one. I thought he just like split in half, but apparently it's a thing.
Like a 2-piece.
I just rewatched it, and Kamir does not actually ever shut his off in that like thing.
Yeah, no, I thought he did.
He swings through and gets it chopped.
Yeah. That this is the first time I'm rewatching it since I watched it the first time last night.
And
so we get
so it's just Saul doing the dishonorable thing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel. I mean, it might be, but I didn't feel like it was sorry. He was just doing what he needs to do to beat this guy.
I thought it was strange that Kamir took his helmet off, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he?
Yeah.
I think it's to humanize himself.
Right.
Right.
To play on the last vestiges of like Jedi code. It's not even like it's not even like Saul's completely like. It's not it's not like Saul's completely degenerated. It's more like he's just been compromised.
He's out of control.
Right. Yeah.
So while Soul has Kamir at lightsaber point to his throat, pretty much, May comes rushing in, and what does she actually do? I just skipped right past it. My bad. She disarms Soul, she yanks his lightsaber out of his hands, and is just like, "What you gonna do now, bitch?"
He's a great Jedi, but he's also a terrible Jedi. How can he be both? How can he be so ridiculously
he was teaching those younglings not ever to let go of their lightsabers.
Yep.
Because he's been compromised. He's
just all up in his head. He's not thinking straight.
Yeah.
He's living in his guilt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kamir tries to encourage May to go ahead and attack Soul. And, telling her, this is the source of your pain. And she decides that she's not going to kill him, and she wants him to confess what he did to the Senate, to the council, and pay for his crimes.
Yep. She develops a sense of like societal justice.
Yeah. But Soul's like, I did the right thing. Because he honestly,
he believes it. I feel like he believes that he did he thinks he did the right thing wholeheartedly. Like, I don't think that this is it's not some kind of game.
This is kind of the parallel of seeing what would happen to Qui-Gon playing out.
Yeah.
Like, he finds the kid like basically blows up his world. Yeah. Like,
I don't.
how would that play out if Qui-Gon survives and has to see like that along with Obi-Wan? I don't think it'd be particularly pleasant.
Right. So we get the breakdown of what Soul thinks. Again, you and Osha are the same person. She's like, I don't know how your mother did it, but it has something to do with the virgins on this planet. And that she created life, your lives, her, Osha and May. He believes that she used the Force to create the both of them. And she looks interested. And then Kamir's like, say what now?
Yeah. I
He's
wonder
like-
if this will
like-
have repercussions in the universe.
Right?
Yeah, this is
He's
news
like-
to him.
He's like, wait, they're the
just
same
thought they were
person.
sisters.
And they're, yeah, he thought that they were just sisters.
Yeah. And now a dark side user knows that you can create a person whole cloth out of the Force.
Right.
I'm
who
sure
has-
Plagueis is not interested in any of this.
Yeah.
Right. Because do you have any idea what kind of power that is?
Yeah, I don't think if season 2 happens, I don't think Kamir has long for this world because he just made himself like useless. Like he just like if he found an apprentice and then they go up to like bump it up to kill Plagueis, well, he's not going to succeed at that.
Right. So May gets Soul to admit that he killed her and Osha's mother. And Osha hears it from the doorway after she picks up the lightsaber that was tossed down by May.
I will say that he does have like a bit of like extenuating circumstance. Like she was turning to smoke, and a Force switch turning to smoke in front of you after demonstrating that she has like mind control powers is probably not the like safest situation to be in.
Right, but like he goes
Like,
about
He doesn't
He
exactly justify it to her like what happened in that moment. He's just like, yeah, I killed her.
Yeah, I was expecting him to say something about that and like kind of defend himself
Well-
almost in a way.
well, he was trying to,
Mm-hmm.
but she went all Darth Vader on his ass and choked him out.
Wait, has his lightsaber already been damaged?
Yes.
That
When May threw it.
they
they
showed
showed that
something about there's like seeing that crystal. I don't think I've ever seen that in Star Wars before.
Yeah,
Well,
first time
Like
they've
seeing
shown the
It
next
was like
thing.
sticking through the cylinder, right? It was like damaged.
Yeah, I got
It sounds like it breaks. I wasn't sure if it seemed ridiculous to me. Star Wars noob that you could just throw it down like that on not hard ground and it would break.
She looks so stoned right here.
yeah. Awesome.
Sorry. I was trying to find the which you were talking about, because it's very clear when she dang it, I keep missing the spot.
Is it the starting of the choking? Because
No, when she throws the lightsaber down in it
right behind
is
May throwing
broken.
it.
Yeah.
It's
I think we might have skipped over this, but when
25,
Pip
25,
spit at
22.
OSHA, it made me laugh. During May and OSHA's little standoff.
Yeah.
Pip turned
So
on
when-
OSHA.
When she throws the lightsaber, it hits a rock and there's a little spark.
Oh, it's a rock.
And then there's a shot of it like
Or
the
it's
emitter,
here.
the emitter's broken open, and you
I'm
can
just-
see it's going through the side of the case.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna let it play just for a second, just because it's right here. So you can already see the lightsaber has left her hand. It's a little in the foreground, but boom, and then there we go. So we got
that's what that close up. You've never seen anything like that before.
We got the kyber crystal. It looks like it's sticking out
through the button
right there, because the button basically just got popped off.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah,
but
that
then that
shouldn't really function. Actually, I don't know how she gets it to function later, but okay.
Okay, so in lightsaber lore in general, some lightsabers don't have any buttons on them at all, and they're entirely ignited using the Force.
I believe that.
So this also, that might be why she's able to ignite it, because
it does start really slow and funky, and we'll get to it.
Right.
The first time we get to see a lightsaber bled.
Yeah.
Kyber crystal bled.
Yeah, another cool thing about this episode.
Because the subtitles just said the lightsaber rattling, and as you can see, the kyber crystal is touching her flesh. And it's like red. it's already purple.
How's that?
Also, look at the vein.
I was going to say, is that why it's turning red? It's because she's touching it.
Look at the little dark side creeping in with the blackened vein.
Oh yeah, totally. And
I mean, she is also like choking a guy in the other hand at the same time,
right? Because I mean, she's fully rage. She's in full rage. You killed my mother, my coven, and then lied to me for 16 years, blaming my sister, which he says he didn't really do.
And they also
Master Indara, I think, is more like, because he, to an extent, the whole thing.
He didn't create the cover up.
No, that was
Indara basically created a plausible story for them to tell.
Yeah, he was following orders.
And she was covering.
Well, he wanted to turn himself in after it, right? Didn't he say, "I want to turn myself in"? And
Indara talked him out of it due to
because they take Osha away.
You just ruined your life. One, right. You want to ruin it completely?
Yeah,
right. And not only ruin your life, but also ruin. Like, he wasn't able to tell Osha, like, the full. This is why things went down like this, because she was already in rage mode.
Yeah. They also changed the eye light. That's where they changed the eye light when she is choking him at about 28-minute mark. The eye light goes from a neutral to a red. Like
28? I'm at 2037 here. You mean 2008?
What?
No, at 28, right where we were the crystal. Yeah. The crystal and the lightsaber, and then right after that, I'm actually on.
It's right before not left. Was it? Yeah.
Into it, yeah. I'm at 28 right now, and this is where it's happening.
Yeah. When they go to her eye shot, you can see the.
Oh, okay.
And yes, Eric, at 2033 left.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Roughly.
So then the next shot is of her face is the red light going to white. Like it when she does like the little eye thing. Yeah.
I can see color in the middle of her pupils there.
On your screen, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
on a big ass screen, yeah.
The YouTube, the Stream Lab basically aided. Or what are we on? StreamYard. Sorry,
StreamYard. Yeah.
Sorry, StreamYard.
So then we got her straight, just Darth Vader them.
Mm-hmm.
Just and that's it for Soul.
Aww.
What a mess.
Even though he was like the bumbling Jedi, but I felt kind of bummed. Even though he sort of
and that's because the actor did a good job. Like, he's probably the best actor in this series for sure. Like, you actually care about.
Yeah.
And like, you could tell he was he was disturbed.
Yeah.
Right.
Tragic character.
Right. So Osha drops to her knees after it. from exerting all that energy, probably. But she's still pissed. Chimera walks up, looks at the body, reaches to Osha, touches her on the shoulder, and she like ignites her the lightsaber. I'm gonna I can't not show this. I can't. No, that's too much already. Well, it would have been too much if I let it play from where I was. So
yeah, you gotta.
She takes a swing at him and then holds the blade out, and boom, it starts turning red, which I haven't seen outside of a Hasbro toy that they sold 10 years ago.
Oh, that with a lightsaber that changes color?
Yeah.
That was going to be a question that I had for you. Are only bad dark lightsabers red? And
yes,
is that normal for one to change like that?
In Legends, there's the way that the Sith or Dark Jedi make their lightsabers red is they do a thing called bleeding the crystal, and that's done by pouring all their anger and hate into the crystal.
Because she was touching it, that's why it's turning red.
Because she was raging and in contact with it, she inadvertently bled the crystal without even knowing that that's a thing.
Yeah,
right.
It seems like she stumbled into everything she was supposed to do.
It's
like just by instinct. She killed Saul without a weapon.
Yep.
She bled her lightsaber. So
she
didn't have to be told.
She basically finished May's training.
Yeah.
And right. Since they're the same person.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Does one pick up stuff from the other even when they weren't together, since really they're the same person?
It's possible, yeah. Which will probably be the way they find each other again if we do get a season 2.
Right.
She's kind of like a feral Sith or Darksider.
Right.
It just happened. It just happens. This is pretty cool. I have no problem with this. This is cool stuff.
She's been cultivating negative emotions for the last 16 years.
Right.
They like she was saying that she failed out because she couldn't get over the negative emotions and hatred of her sister. We kind of glossed over the sister fight.
Yeah, we did. I got preoccupied with the lightsaber fight. Should I go back to it or
there's a lot of
there was a good smash cut, but it was
it's just me trying to tell Osha the truth, and
then we get a kung fu mirror match, which is kind of fantastic, though. They're mostly evenly matched until one gets the upper hand.
I was going to say more Matrix style fighting, which is not a disparaging, but which is draws from all that, all those kung fu style.
Yeah, it makes it. There's so much wrong with this show, but so many cool things in this show.
There was potential. There was a lot of potential, and the fight choreography and all that stuff, they're blameless. They did their job.
Right.
Yep.
They took people even who are not the actress who plays Osha and May. She's not necessarily that. People say, oh, her fighting wasn't as good, but she still did a competent job. And everybody else, the guy who plays Soul looks like he's been doing it for his entire life, even though that's not his background either. He did an amazing job. Some of his moves. If you, I've seen some YouTube channels where they focus on the fighting, they slow it down in slow motion, frame by frame. You can see dang, dude, they're doing some crazy moves, and it looks natural. He looked really natural doing it too. So
right, yeah. The only fight move that looked unnatural was the Chimera and Soul coming off the bridge.
The force jump.
Yeah, that was a little weird. It was a little weird.
A little slow motion. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was both in slow. It was wire work and in slow motion, so it looked kind of and then it returned to normal speed at the end of the shot. Which
they should probably that's on the editor. You probably should have just left it a little faster. They can dial in the speed.
Speaking of the little flutter, when he bicycle kicked, when Saul bicycle kicked,
Liu Kang.
I hate that move. I hate that move in kung fu movies. I hate it. You really expect me to believe that you got any more force after like the first kick? Like, oh yeah, that second one's gonna really have a lot of power behind it. It's it's in Jet Li movies.
Joke. It's probably an inside joke for the stunt team. They're like, oh, we're gonna get
one of these in for
the Liu King.
We're gonna get the legend kick because it's in Legend also, the Jet Li classic.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jedi finally, the Jedi finally show up.
Like this, okay. Even this shot is like Vader just rolled up. Like to me,
right? Yeah, her aura is nothing good. She's just
the whole like I'm reaching out. You,
yeah, like, and he feels her immediately.
Right.
He's like, yoink.
But the look on his face, he's just all, oh crap.
Jason Mendoza's.
Yeah, he totally Jason Mendoza's. Let me put my helmet on.
Scar. He doesn't want another scar on his back.
On his back, yeah.
Right. It's
probably fresh. She's like, ooh, I'm gonna get him good this time. He's so mean. She's so mean. Scary.
And she thought he was dead.
I'm gonna go hunt down the guy I used to know, right where he used to be.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm gonna finish you off.
So a lot of people were complaining, like she does this, and then he goes ahead and he puts that helmet right back on.
Very quickly puts his helmet on.
And like
I would too if she was
like
me.
There was a few people that were on a Star Wars Santa stream this morning who were like, why didn't she say his name, like his real name, like right there? Like they could have at least gave us that.
Season 3.
Yeah, they could have gave us a little bit more info, but they decided not to.
Nope.
Yeah, it was you're alive.
Yeah.
That's an old writing trick to kick the can down keep the mystery alive.
Yep. It's set up another plot thread.
And speaking of you're alive, Basil catches up.
I like this part.
Basil, like, you're all right.
Yeah. That was the only time I liked Basil in the entire series.
When you're finally done with him.
Exactly. It would have been funny if the Jedi was like, ooh. That would have been Kid like kicked him or something.
Yeah, cut him in half with a lightsaber.
I mean, this giant rat just rolled up on me.
It's a giant rat. Holy shit! That ain't Splinter.
Waving him off,
So we cut back again to Osha, May, and Kamir has vanished because he knows Vernestra's there.
He just ran as soon as Vernestra.
So
he's out. He is out.
So Osha May tells Osha, God, this character swap is totally screwing with me, that she knows a way out. And she will, we'll get to it in a minute, but she basically leads her out the same way she just got back in, which is the way she got out back in 16 years ago.
I like the part when they climb down. I don't know if you're going to mention it, and they go in that escape tunnel.
Yeah.
This happens after this. That shot is very Empire Strikes Back. Luke
walking Luke
City.
Under the carbon freezing chamber. Yeah.
Those visual callbacks I like a lot. Those are cool.
Right.
Just even the angle was just
So damn, does she look dark side? Look how vicious she looks right there.
She's a villain. They're setting her up to be a villain in the show, which is like, okay.
I think they've already set her up to be a villain. I mean, she doesn't feel good to me.
No.
We'll see where this goes. Like, if there's another season.
She's not good. She is not a good person.
Definitely not.
Or whatever she is. I don't know if you call what she is a person, but
yeah,
she's a humanoid.
She's a humanoid. They're technically
people.
Aliens are people. Okay,
like aliens are people. Exactly. Everybody's a person unless you're a droid.
Racist.
Got it.
Yeah, and then
Speechless.
that's a whole thing. Yeah, and the droids.
And that,
have
yeah,
their own
that's a whole
rebellion. You
that's a
gotta
whole thing in
see-
in Solo.
BlahBlah's gonna see Solo.
Yeah.
Everybody complains about that, but I love that actually. I love that. Anyway,
Yeah. Make Solo 2 happen.
make Solo
Mhm.
2 happen. Also, make Lando happen.
Yeah, Lando can be Solo too, to an extent.
Yeah. Or both,
depend-
or one's
yeah.
a movie, one's a series, whatever.
If
Buddy
it ever
comedy.
happens.
I hope it does. I was one of the few that actually liked Solo.
Hey, that's where
This,
you know
this
what?
is a pro Solo show.
Pro Solo.
Yeah, all our followers just clicked out.
Right?
Bye.
I'm like, man, I could have worn my Make Solo 2 Happen t-shirt today, but oh well.
I thought Childish Gambino did a good job as
Hey,
Lando, and
I like him
and
as
Alden-
Lando more than
and
I like
Alden
any
Ehrenreich.
other thing he's been involved with.
Alden Ehrenreich did a good Han.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not their fault that everybody got fired and blah blah blah.
No.
Oh, Ron Howard,
Ron Howard saved that movie.
He directed Solo. He's
Yeah.
called in at the last minute to save it after the directors got fired.
Yeah,
There's a
the,
whole
orig-
controversy.
the original directors of Solo were the guys who made the Lego movies.
Yeah. Miller
Not the
and
Lego
Lord.
Star Wars movies, but like the Lego movie.
I don't think I knew that there was a Lego movie.
You haven't seen the Lego movie?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
you got to see that. Everything is awesome.
It's funny.
Will Ferrell's
it's
in
a-
it. Will Ferrell
Uh-huh.
does the voice of the bad guy in it.
There's a lot
Oh,
of voices
nice.
in it. It's a pop movie, but it's actually well written and funny.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what you were talking about, right, Dan?
Yes. This is Cloud
this is
City. Luke
this
entering
is
into the...
this is tubular tunnel. It's got those grooves.
And there's a
So
visual
feels
thing like
weird.
telling you like the hero is now passing through into like a new era, and you get this vibe. Like it's like the gates of hell or gates of heaven or however you want to look at it. Like this is a transition
Well, see,
point.
here's the thing: is we know that hell exists in Star Wars, but we haven't heard anything about heaven. The closest we get is Anakin talking about angels living on the moons of Viego.
Mhm. Hey, but we do have was it the Worlds Between?
The world
Right.
between worlds. Yeah, we do have
Okay.
that, but that's more of a
I wouldn't call that
purgatory.
heaven though. Yeah, I wouldn't call
That's
that
more of
heaven.
a purgatory. So we get the most Jedi that we've seen on screen together. Wait, hold on, I missed that shot again. Since Attack of the Clones, really. This is like double the squad that came out for when Soul led all his crew to death. But yeah,
$180
they're
million
just-
on robes.
they're just well, see, you know what I think all this is? This is all a bunch of Jedi robes that they were trying to sell at the Star Wars hotel cruiser
We got a
thing.
lot of them.
And they're like, they had so many in stock. They're like, you know what? Let's just use these in a production. Since we don't have to spend any extra money. We got them
At
already.
least-
Everybody put on the outfits from the gift
Mhm.
shop.
At least they're not the white Buck Rogers ones at the beginning of the series. Remember those?
Yeah,
Like, these are like the
Yord.
field- yeah, these are
Yords.
field robes.
Yeah.
God, he looked like a-
that's what color they actually are. Yord had washed his so much that his was faded.
He bleached his.
But yeah, that's like 10 Jedi. So we get
Oh,
a confirmed death. There's Soul laying dead on the ground. I thought
Vernestra, does she apologize to him?
yeah, well she
yeah,
all right,
because
so
for what she's about to do. That's
Or,
evil
yeah,
stuff.
right. Yes.
That's
she
evil.
tells
stuff.
those two people to search the premise, but it looks like she's pointing at 3 people,
Mhm.
which is weird.
They know who
and
she's
the-
talking to.
and the rest of them do a 5-click perimeter, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask
so
you,
now-
what
now we-
what the hell's a click?
Now they're on the
Kilometer.
metric system.
Yeah,
Right?
I think they've used clicks in Star Wars before.
Yeah.
So we get a little
I
bit.
don't assume they're actually kilometers. I just assume they're like what the equivalent of
The equivalent to Star Wars. It's being
Yeah.
translated. Everything that we're hearing is being translated for us.
No, it's
in real time.
it's Star Wars is metric. Like
Star
even
Wars is-
in Star Wars is metric because in
He says how many meters.
The thermal exhaust port is 3 meters wide.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they talk about the size of womp rats. So
Mhm. Yeah, they have
Womp rat? Womp
womp
rat.
rats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Right.
think the technical documentation uses meters too.
Well, they
Yeah.
have to because otherwise the audience wouldn't know what the hell they're talking. Like what reference would mean.
But here in America, we decided that we're not doing metric. So
Luke
there's
Skywalker is a psychopath who kills small animals. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
Yeah,
He bullseyes womp rats in his T-16 back home.
yep.
It's a long running Star Wars joke because Luke Skywalker is like, oh, I could hit that. I killed womp rats all the time. Like people were like, what?
which is yeah.
You shoot animals like helpless animals.
You shoot a 3 foot tall
bull-
innocent like
So I
You
thought this
bullseye
was
rat.
kind of
rats.
I thought
You-
this
you
was
can-
kind of creepy.
oh yeah.
The way that
Yeah.
the way that Vernestra kneels down over Soul. But I should also point
I
out
think
I didn't none of us mentioned that as she's walking around in this area, she's picking up Force echoes about
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
then she seems to be getting like a very complete picture of it, even
Yeah.
compared to
She's
like Saul who
feeding
was
off
there.
all the death. She loves it.
But I think some people are more attuned to the Force echoes, like what's his name from that.
Cal
Mhm,
Kestis.
yeah.
Yeah, Ahsoka is supposed to be good with that too.
That's right. She did. She touched the orb and like got the stuff. That's right.
So the girls make their way out of the tunnel. She's like, "You did this when you were a kid?" She's like, "Yeah." And then what did you do? And they run to the poison tree. But while they're doing that, we get this Jedi with
Bloodhound again.
but like he gives Basil the bag to sniff. But what kind of alien is this dude? He's got like scales.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fish man.
Is he? Is his name Hal? Is he Hal Fishman? No. R.I.P. Hal Fishman.
Only LA people will understand. Older LA people will understand that reference.
He actually was in, I think, 2 Marvel movies as a
Really?
news commentator. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I
This
got
actor?
to
Or
Oh,
no,
Hal
no.
Fishman.
Hal Fishman.
He's in Spider-Man 3.
Okay, yeah.
okay. That's cool.
But yeah.
But
So
yeah, he's in that's just says Spider-Man 3.
I think it's the Tobey Maguire one.
Mm-hmm.
So the girls make it to the tree. Chimera catches up to them. I mean, they're doing the whole thing. They talk about the little poem that they recite. Apparently, OSHA thought May made it up, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, that nobody knows where it came from. It was
Right.
maybe a Mother Anastasia thing, or
It probably came from
Coral.
the Witch Coven in general, like the way that they were
Right.
doing the power of one, power of two, the power of many. Like it was
Yeah.
like a remnant of some chant that they were doing while they were being created, like while the girls were being created,
Right. It was just kind of ingrained into them.
imprinted on their psyches or whatever. So the stranger catches up to the girls and tells them, "If I could find you, so can the Jedi." And like, well, we'll just tell him the truth and whatever, all the stuff that happened. And he's like, you know, you're going to put your faith in the Jedi. And they decide that May's gonna stay behind, and Osha's gonna go off with Kamir. Like the Jedi says, the Jedi will use me to find you
together and separate later. I mean,
right?
Playing devil's advocate. Why does anybody need to stay?
And then then this offer happens. I can attempt to wipe her memory, which is kind of a callback to what Kamir says to Soul in episode 2? Mm-hmm. It's like, don't mind wipe me or whatever you guys do.
Yeah. So he knows that they can mind wipe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's particular. I don't think it's particularly effective, or rather,
well, I think it's like precision. Soul knows how to mind wipe, but
yeah.
So the girls have this weird. Like, I don't know. This whole scene was kind of weird for me. I was watching
it's a little awkward.
She's like crying because she knows that her sister's mind's gonna get wiped a little bit, but she hands Kamir Soul's lightsaber, which is, I don't know, her lightsaber at this point.
Yeah. Well, she gets it back from him.
Yeah.
He snatched it as soon as he appeared. Yeah.
Right. That's right.
I didn't even catch that.
So they're doing their little poem, and May slowly forgetting
how it goes,
what the verses are.
And they're kind of trying to do this quickly, right? Because Basil and the Jedi are almost there.
Right.
Yes.
With Basil barked like a dog. It was a very strange noise he made. I don't know if anybody noticed it. It was not a noise that I had heard from him, but it sounded like a weird chipmunk bark.
Right. So here comes the Jedi running up on a poor defenseless girl that doesn't know who she is or where she's at. I guess she knows who she is, kind of.
Sorta.
You know, and they basically go to arrest her, and all of a sudden we're back on Coruscant. And
it's so just saturated. They make it kind of look bad, evil too, almost.
Well, it is an evil place.
Yeah. It's not.
I mean, what kind of good guys dress like this? I mean, what's up with this dude's hairdo in the foreground here?
Mm-hmm.
He's Polynesian.
That's like but he's got like a partial.
He's got
pompadour. Like,
remember how I was saying that there's a like preponderance of like Rey hair in this show?
Yeah.
There's Bastila hair and Rey hair. I think Bastila was from KOTOR. And she had a ridiculous like and ponytail thing.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that Leslie Headland did say that some of the character design was inspired by KOTOR. Even the look of May and Osha were based on one of the Sith witches or whatever they call them. The Twi'lek one in particular. Can't remember her name right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so what is this guy? So this guy does something to Pip right here. He just turns him off.
He was turning him off. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He turned him off.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Pip, who could be crucial,
and then we get
telling people what actually happened.
Yep, unbiased.
Yeah.
Then we get Vernestra's new outfit because she's got to go do.
She doesn't deserve to
Senate stuff.
So apparently she runs the whole show here, and she's the one who talks to the set. Like, it's just like, man, she is in a position of power that she doesn't really deserve.
Well, she uses it as it's exactly how someone in that position, I feel like, would act.
The council
doesn't deserve it, and she just gets up there and spews all these lies.
Yeah.
It's not a believable lie. Just tell them a believable lie.
Yeah.
Also, but believable lie. There is literally a bartender who saw Space Trinity get killed by May.
Right.
Like, it's obviously not Soul. There's a bunch of people in that room during the investigation. Like, she would have had to mind wipe half the Jedi Order for this lie to go through. And that's the part that pisses me off.
Well, here's the thing is Osha and May being twin sisters is not in their records.
Okay.
So
because there's not a record.
This person that they have right now is the person that killed, like, well, she legitimately is the person that killed Indara. This is the one that the eyewitness eyeball. They have her in custody.
All right.
So like that's handled.
But Soul didn't poison the other guy. Like, I mean, there's
but the other guy,
witnesses.
the other guy, like drank poison. You know, like they came in the room and he was already dead, but he drank poison.
And Soul, yeah.
Was Soul the first person in the room there? No. It was her. It was
Osha.
It was Osha.
Right?
But
Osha was over the body.
But was it Osha? Like, if someone saw that, was it Osha or was it May?
Right. At that point, we didn't know yet, right? Or we were just about to find out, or we had just found out, or something. I kind of feel like that was.
I think it had just became evident. I think. Yeah.
Right.
I don't buy it. Just a beloved master who teaching younglings murdered his entire squad.
Yeah.
Just like, oh man.
Hey,
she's terrible.
Look at Anakin though. Anakin was a beloved Jedi general who
he was supposed to bring forth
kills a classroom full of children.
Yeah, but there's evidence.
But he actually did that, right? Like, Soul didn't actually do everything.
Of him doing that, even it's later in I think the Clone Wars. They watch the footage of him murdering the younglings.
Yeah,
like it's just there's no case here, and like, but I hate that she is pushing this lie.
Well, yeah, but she's pushing this lie because if she lets them know that Chimere or whatever his real name is alive, that she failed somewhere else in her past, and she can't let that happen. You know,
I hope she gets hers.
Can't let that happen. Sorry.
I guess we skipped over her conversation with May because I started talking about the lies. Vernestra talking to May, and
yeah, May's useless.
This here,
she doesn't remember anything.
This is where we're at. This is on the left here. This is
in the evil interrogation room.
Yeah. Look at purple and red. Yeah, this is bad.
Might as well be an imperial office.
Black and red chairs.
Yeah, it's so May basically says, I remember a fire, and Vernestra's like, oh, your last memories from when you were 8. And just again, she looks so emotionless and cold.
Like, this is what you're gonna say, this is what you're gonna do, this is how we're gonna cover this up. It's just like, ugh, gross.
And she doesn't name anybody. She doesn't name. I'm just looking at the scene where she doesn't name anybody. She said killed his Jedi accomplices to keep the cover going. Yeah. And flashing back to her over Soul saying, "I'm sorry, my friend." Ew, she's not.
Yeah.
Ew.
No.
She's horrible.
She's bad.
She's like, I'm gonna
have to kill your memory. Like, basically, I'm gonna. gonna ruin your memory. Sorry.
Rogue Jedi, and he killed all his accomplices. Just ew.
But
So
Mog kind of puts that idea in her head in the first place, right? Like,
yeah,
in episode 6, he's like, did Master Soul do this? Like,
right.
And like light bulb
like,
goes off.
Yeah.
Why would he think that?
Never waste a crisis.
Yeah. But Vernestra, gives the whole spiel.
She's a great politician.
Yeah. She'd fit right in with current politics in our country. Especially based on what I've seen from that convention that's going on right now. And we get like she basically tells the whole story. That's totally BS. But of course, the Jedi are the Jedi. We see a lot of weird hairdos on these people. Especially this second to last.
Those are this as a Senate subcommittee, or who are these guys?
This is like a Senate subcommittee.
This is the council.
Not the Jedi Council.
No, the sub council.
They're the Senate.
Yes.
Representatives.
Yeah, they're Senate representatives.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Jedi. They're Senate representatives, like a sub council. Yes. A subcommittee.
That's what I said.
So
Bureaucracy.
you need to form a committee, form a committee. So you need a subcommittee for that purpose, which
So then you
decides
can
the
go
name
to
of
the actual committee.
Yeah, you need a subcommittee to decide the name of the committee.
She just knows that if she can BS these people, it's all solved. And it's fine.
Yeah.
Like
it's all to get the eyes off of the Jedi Order again.
Yep.
And what does Keanu Monday know? That's
Keanu Monday doesn't know nothing. He's not even in this room.
You know what?
No, I know, but
screw that guy. He doesn't even follow the Jedi Order rules. How many wives does he have?
I don't know.
I think 14. But that's because his race is like having a population crisis and they need to procreate. And
is that true?
More,
I don't know.
There's more female that well, you know what? That's all legends now. I mean they changed his birthday, so what else did they change about him?
Yeah.
He apparently has 14 wives.
Well, I mean, I don't really know if that's the right number.
Now look at her burning the evidence.
Yeah, she gave. I mean, but we've seen this though before. Like they cremate they cremate Qui-Gon Jinn at the end of episode 1.
He literally
but her intentions are to get rid of the body so nobody finds out that he didn't actually kill himself.
I completely I disagree. I think she's actually trying to honor her friend before she sells him out like forever
and hide the
evidence. I guess. What a shitty friend.
Why go through the effort of basically giving him a Viking funeral if you're going to just like if it's the purpose is to destroy the evidence? Why not just like use some space vaporizer and like make sure
because
there's
it would be weird
left.
if she didn't do it in this style. But they should have autopsied before it burned them.
I think it's the exact same thing that he's basically dealing with, where it's like conflicting values fighting it out. It's how you give yourself like a moral injury. Like that's what's going on.
Yeah.
They're giving themselves moral injuries, which is the idea of like doing something against what your value code is and then having to live with like the change of your self-perception. And she's doing another one because she's probably already done a few of these.
Maybe that's why she's such an a-hole.
Based off of Khmer, her reaction to Khmer, and
I kind of almost want a prequel.
To see what happens with Vernestra and Khmer.
There's going to be a comic book or something like that around this show.
Well, I know there's a comic book that's got Kelnaka in it. Maybe it'll have some other stories
Kanaka.
too.
Yeah, they'll do some stories. If I don't know if we're going to see another Acolyte season, not anytime soon.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
so dumb. They should.
Especially even if they do it, like development time on modern shows is like 2.5 years.
Yeah, well, this is
Yeah.
like 3 years in the making. Like we heard about the Acolyte like years ago.
Oh,
Right.
I
But it
was think-
didn't. But
I was
didn't it
thinking
go
of something.
through production? Like they had production issues, didn't it? And there
was
was
it,
and there was
COVID.
was it
there was
made
COVID
during?
and there was a strike. Yeah.
I was gonna say, was it made basically after like the writer strike or before it?
It was
writer's
made
strike
in
delayed it a year.
yeah, it was in between, like it started production in between the end of COVID and the writer's strike.
Okay, so there was basically production rushes then.
Yeah.
Not quite the same problems as some things like House of Dragons season 1 having no writers on staff on the set during like production, but things like that.
Right.
It helps to have writers on set every now and then when you're hammering out a plot.
So we were talking about this earlier in our group chat, the two people standing at the horizon. But I'm going to let this play just for a second. What is this supposed to represent?
They're getting married.
They're doing it.
Yeah, they're together now.
Remember, the entire thing was he was making the pitch on like the Jedi don't want you to have passion or like feelings for other people. Like you're like the thing with Jackie, like, and then what? Like your friend, where does your friendship go from there? Like it just
you can't ever have a relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
So you may have a strong feelings for someone, but it won't matter. And
I think Kamir is gonna die like because
that's what I'm
once Plagueis is like, oh, we got a virgins here, bye.
Yeah, like
well, as soon as Kamir teaches Osha everything he knows, he's expendable.
Yeah.
She's way more valuable.
I think he's expendable now. Especially like, oh, I'm gonna go see my actual master Plagueis without my helmet, get my mind read instantly, and then he's gonna know about the virgins, and now he's completely useless.
Yeah.
I think it would be terrible if they do a season 2. I think it would be a terrible idea to kill him off early.
No, it'll be a couple episodes in.
Yeah,
it might be the finale of that season even, or something like that.
2 or 3
but
episodes.
I just think his days are numbered.
Yeah. About halfway through, they should kill him off, and in the final episode, a young Sheev Palpatine should be introduced.
The reason I don't think there'll be another season is because of like the vitriol online, like
the backlash.
I feel like that gives them more fuel. People are going to watch it just so they can, I mean, they're still making their money off the streams. I mean, there's no merch, right?
They didn't make the money.
If they don't make the money, if they're like,
their viewership,
if the viewerships, I was gonna say if the viewership doesn't like stay stable, and if the subscriptions, unrelatedly just start dropping, which they're going to.
What I think they should do with this series, just pretty much all the content that they put on Disney Plus. What they should do is they should film it as one big movie, right? Edit the movie down to movie runtimes, release it in the theaters, collect all that money, and then do the extended cut as a series on their streaming service week to week. So you get the expanded story with all the scenes you've already seen in the theater and paid for there. You'll see them again with all the cutting room floor stuff. Mm-hmm. But so at that little black out ending at that last scene of Kamir and Osha on the beach, I thought the episode was over.
Yeah, so did I.
But then we get
post credits.
We get this. This is this is not post credits. There's no post credits. I watched all the credits, even though the music that started was awful.
It wasn't that bad. Again. Stop it, Lobo.
They played the song again.
Really? Was it like
it was a different song. I
was like, wait a minute.
It was the witch song. It was the witch song.
It was them chanting.
Yeah.
My issue with the music is like our whole lives, the music outside of like music. So I'm like, I'm not counting Jabba's palace. All of it was orchestral for the most, like there shouldn't be lyrics in the Star Wars music. No. I didn't like it. When they put the Boba Fett verse in that, like, no, like if you have no music in all this stuff, then it works in every language and you don't have to change anything.
And you don't have to re-record it. And you don't have to put the stupid song that people don't understand.
Cut, done.
There aren't lyrics in this ending credit song. No?
There are.
Yeah. The power of one,
it was
the power of
it was
two,
the same as the witch. The witch song.
Sounds like Star Wars music. Does it change?
It's right at the beginning.
They start singing.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I skipped over
There's like a fanfare, and then it's like starts playing like the lyrics. Yeah.
So look, it's Bernie Sanders. I mean. Yeah. So we get that. We get sorry to disturb you, master. Yoda's ears perk up a little bit. And then we get nothing. And that's when the
chanting.
I don't get chanting. I don't understand.
There must be something wrong. That it's clearly the
hold on.
Oh, it's after. Okay, it's after. I see. I'm there now.
Yeah. See,
I liked the Star Warsy stuff.
There's subtitles to the lyrics.
Yeah, no, I'm there now.
No, I think this doesn't bother me. I think this is better than even the pop music they had. But I didn't even have that much of a problem with it. Like it didn't.
It just doesn't fit.
I had with this series.
It's just that would be that. I mean, putting pop music in fantasy stuff to me.
I mean, this isn't pop.
Was the down? Well, no, last week's was no.
Oh, okay. You're talking about when they did the full song.
Yeah, like
the pop song.
Like the pop song at the end, like putting
this song right here. This chanting to me sounds like what Haunted Mansion music would be like if they made it Star Wars themed.
Yeah, kind of like if by the crystal ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really feel like I said earlier, like a good like a supercut would have made this movie way better. If it was more of a if it was a movie.
Yeah.
If they put this out in the theater as a movie, they would have got a bunch of people to go give them some extra money for it. Like they
right, and then streamed it later.
Yeah, and then chop it up and show, make a 2.5 hour movie and then give us a 4.5 hour TV series out of that 2.5 hour movie. Done. It's basically what we got. Right? 4.5 hour of content. If you cut the credits and the previously on segments out. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny. So I keep mentioning it. Earlier, I was watching the Star Wars Santa's stream, and he said he rated this show on 2 scales. If it's a season finale, he thought it was a 9, which I would score it a little bit lower. But if it was a series finale, he says it's an 8, which I'm 1 lower on each of those out of 10. Yeah, but that's everybody's got their own opinion, I guess. But yeah, it
made me want for a second season.
Yeah,
this episode in and of itself made me want for a second season,
or at least 4 more episodes.
Yeah, something. Because I want to see what happens to Vernestra. I also, there's more there.
Yeah.
I mean, not just for her, because I don't particularly like her, but she kind of deserves to get some kind of something.
Yeah.
Or maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she just,
some sort of comeuppance needs to happen.
Yeah. but we're left kind of weird, right? I'd like to see OSHA train with Jason Mendoza. You know, you also kind of wonder what happens to May.
Fanfic there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what happens to May? Like, you know, what'd be really cool is if they followed it up with a tie-in video game. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Man, that takes years.
They could have been already working on one, and we don't know about it.
They already are working on one now.
So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I expected more. I don't know why.
Maybe well, you're, you know,
the whole premise of this series was like, from the Sith's point of view, was how they kind of sold it to us. And we didn't really get too much of that. We get, you might call me a Sith, and that's as far as we got with that.
You see a little Plagueis.
You know? Yeah, but is Plagueis
that's about
is he there? Is he there because he's been there, or did he just show up? Did he show up just now and went, wow, there's Cortosis here. Oh, who are those people out there? Like,
yeah.
You know, is he the is he hunting Chimere? You know, like, we don't know. We don't. There's all these questions.
The ratings for the show, and I hate to rain on the parade, were lower than Andor's, and Andor was like the lowest rated of anything on Disney Plus. And that was an amazing show. I love that show.
Too. Huh? And that's already having a season 2.
Yes, but because it was like the public,
it was green.
Was like the opposite of this show. It was like people were like, "It's amazing!" Like blah blah blah. That we're not seeing that with this one. Like this is, I don't know if they want the smoke. They want that smoke from
the Snoke. What
community? Yeah, the Snoke too.
They want that.
It seems sucky to leave all those open ends. I don't know. I hate when shows do that.
Yeah,
I know.
Even if people didn't love this, there are still things that.
Yeah, well, the fact that Andor is still the lowest, actually viewed one, tells you everything you need.
Andor's below Acolyte.
No, it's just above it.
Oh, okay.
Is it currently? Because the previous trending one for the first 3 episodes was way better for the was in the middle. It was lower than Ahsoka, but higher than Andor as far as the first 3 episode watcher rate. And a lot of that is very important though, like the early adopter rate
for this show.
Yeah,
I mean the 3rd episode of this show is
the most divisive.
Dropped a lot of people.
Yep.
A lot of people gave up the show after that 3rd episode.
Yeah, I'm referencing the Nielsen's, which just released the ratings for the 3rd one. That's
I honestly, like I said it to you guys earlier. The first episode 3 should have been the first episode, and episode 7 should have been the finale. Here's what we think happened.
I don't know how you could have fixed
here's what actually happened. And then they could have edited it with that awful pop song.
Don't you get rid of the reveal of Mayanosia being 2 different people if episode 3 is episode 1?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, I feel like that takes something away from it because they told me.
If they don't show
there's no easy fix for
this. There is no easy fix. What they needed to do maybe is just not had a full flashback episode and just cut things together with flashbacks within episodes would have made it, for you, I think, a better show.
Yeah. To cut the flashbacks just kind of peppered in instead of
just kind of peppered in and not giving away the reveal until the reveal is actually shown, and then continue on with those flashbacks showing both of them.
I
don't know, it's hard to please a Lobo Sam Hain.
Yep you know me. I like a little bit less than almost nothing, so it is what it is. I hope we get another Star Wars show soon. They still have not given us a release date for
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. I know
I'm
they're
looking
building
forward to that.
they're building sets for the Mando movie, so that's a good
Mhm.
thing down in Manhattan
And
Beach.
Andor 2 is already in the can. We should get that early
Andor
next
2
year.
is ready to
Or,
go. I don't know when that's coming
I
out.
can't wait for that. That's epic.
It's
man.
just it's we haven't heard anything about if we're getting more visions, if we're getting
Oh yeah, we'll get more of that. That seems to be their.
if we're getting
But it'll be
any
like
more tales.
there'll be tales from the droids, tales from the Empire, tales from the rebels. I think they're just gonna do
Tales from the Ewok.
tales from the Ewoks.
Right?
Yeah, so there's stuff coming. They can't all be like their number one shows, and that's fine. I mean, look, the one I like the most, Andor, is not even their number one, but their
Also,
their
this was
approach is to
like
have different genres.
this
So
was also a show that had no established characters.
except for Vernestra
Exactly.
Rowe.
Yeah.
In
And
the
technically Kiara Mundi and Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda's a conspirator now.
So I just had to look it up. According to this article I just found on the Wrap, Skeleton Crew's scheduled for Christmas.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And everything else is TBD. And the only other two things they have listed is Mando season 4, which I don't think is happening. I think it's just going to be the movie now.
That's fine.
And I wonder
Just
if
like
that's
for this just show, like as an example, maybe just make it a movie. That's cool.
right. Skeleton Crew apparently is also going to be 8 episodes, and it's got this is an interesting. The cast for Skeleton Crew. There's only three names that I recognize. The first one is of course Jude Law. And then there's Carrie Condon. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know why. But then there's a bunch of names I don't recognize: Ryan, Kira Armstrong, Robert Timothy Smith, Ravi Kabo Conyers, Kiriana Crater, Tunda Adebimpe, and then Jaleel White.
What? Urkel?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's probably going to be a Jedi Master.
Or he's doing a character voice. I mean, he was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in the cartoons back in the day.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Steve freaking Urkel.
He'll have a lightsaber and knock somebody's head off and be like, "Can I do that?"
Right?
If he is a character and they don't throw something like that in, I might be really upset.
Yeah, he's.
Did I do that? It doesn't have to be in the Urkel voice, but they kind of have to throw it in somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. As a Star Wars series, I know you can't really talk on this too much, blah blah. But
No.
it. What do you guys what do you guys rate this out of 10? Or comparatively to, where does this rank comparatively to the other content that we got? Is it the worst one, the second worst one?
I haven't watched Kenobi yet, so I can't say that it's. I can't say it's the worst.
Okay,
I've only watched the memes about Kenobi.
I actually like Kenobi because it's a dear character and all that.
Right, and I wonder how much heavy lifting that does.
This show is probably pretty low on my list, just because non-established characters, and it's the first step into.
There was elements of the show that were like good, but they didn't maintain a consistently high.
Great fighting. Okay, let's put it this way: the fighting in this show is better than Kenobi. I'll give them that.
Yeah, out of everything that this show has done, I hope that whoever is the fight choreography group on this show works on more Star Wars projects.
Yeah, they should be the A
like,
team.
This is they're the fight
Good stunt
choreography
team.
crew is the stunt team is just good. Keep it up. I hope they all work on Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah, for sure, that'd be great
because that's going to be a bunch more force fighting. I would imagine. They did say that they're recasting for
Ray
Stevenson's character.
I did hear that. Yeah.
So
I mean, not
he the one that got fired for being a Looney Tune?
No.
He
sorry.
There's no. The only person that's been fired from the Star Wars that's a Looney Tune was Gina Carano.
Right, that's who. Maybe I thought because I don't know anything about.
No, who is suing Disney right now?
Yeah, she's not
for wrongful termination.
She's not going to win. I mean,
the choreographer is also Manny Jacinto's stunt double. So Lu Jun Chang.
Yeah,
stunt performer.
I mentioned him in that first really good fight episode. It was that 4 or 5. Yeah, him and the other guy. They need to be rehired for all the other projects.
Any project that's got Jedi force fighting, that these guys got it down. Got it down, and I hope we get a bunch of that in Ahsoka season 2 whenever that comes out. But we'll so we're gonna have to come up with something creative to if we're gonna keep doing weekly episodes. I'm sure we'll figure something out. I'll be back. I don't know about everybody else, but I'll at least be back once a week, trying to keep this boat going. Depending on what's going on. I mean, there's going to be some Star Wars video games coming out soon, so we'll give maybe some reviews on that stuff.
You have tons of boxes of toys behind you or collectibles.
I still got to go through my loot. I got myself a new Rock Band guitar, so I am going to do a little short Lobo's loot episode probably sometime tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm going to film it tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to release it as live or I'm going to record it or what, but it'll probably end up being live. So yeah, I'm out of things to talk about. How about you guys? Is there anything coming out?
I think we've covered everything.
I do. So the Deadpool movie is coming out next week. Deadpool and Wolverine. Maybe we could do a non Star Wars stream and talk about that. Who knows?
Well, if you can stay awake after we get back, we can just do a quick reaction.
Yeah, we could do.
I know it is noon, so
we could
about the afternoon.
We could do a live reaction from the car after we see the movie,
as we get into an accident and fly off the freeway.
Well, not while we're driving, silly.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's about it. So again, I should probably have a ticker flying usually thing. If you like this video, like our conversation, want to hang out, please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video.
Thank you for joining us this season.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
That's still funny. But may the force be with you and see you next time.